What's up, YouTube? This is Mathos97, and welcome back to an episode of Smackdown vs. Raw 2009. I'm just kidding. 2008 General Manager mode, coming off of our second ECW brand pay-per-view event because they don't have names. What the heck? But based on the bar, we are at the top. So officially, we're not number one. But if we can carry out a really fantabulistic show, Never mind. If we can just have a great show, then we can potentially keep the ratings in our favor and be number one. So you can see we're coming off of a 5-star pay-per-view event with a 5-star main event for good measure. So definitely, I'd have to say with the pay-per-view, well, first of all, here's a look at the rivalries. We're going for a big payoff here between Rey Mysterio and Triple H, because that feud is supposed to have ended, but because when you do a rivalry in place of a match, I guess it pushes the date off a week, because technically it doesn't count that as a week towards the rivalry, so that gives us an opportunity to get this big payoff in a parking lot brawl between Triple H and Rey Mysterio, so that'd be something. Maybe, just maybe, we have an opportunity to keep that top spot in the fan support, but I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that, because with Smackdown, I mean, pay-per-view, the ratings are going to drop right back down. So let's just go ahead and get into the card here. Triple H defeats Rey Mysterio in that parking lot brawl. We've got a hardcore triple threat tornado tag there. Might be playing that. But Johnny Nitro and Mark Henry defeat Bobby Lashley and Batista. So some unorthodox teams there. But Sabu right here getting a win over Mr. Kennedy. That a bit of a grudge match. And as we remember, Sabu and Mr. Kennedy were on a tag team at the pay-per-view in a hardcore tag match against Mick Foley and Terry Funk. And with Mr. Kennedy getting pinned, Sabu able to take out a bit of his frustration on Mr. Kennedy, as Sabu was on fire in that match. He was on fire. And unfortunately for him, Mr. Kennedy took the pin while he was a bit distracted. So Sabu getting a bit of vengeance here tonight against Mr. Kennedy. Alright, anyway. So, of course, like I was talking about before that, we had the unorthodox teaming of Batista and Bobby Lashley against the unorthodox team of Mark Henry and Johnny Nitro. However, at the pay-per-view in one of our filler matches, it was the Brothers of Destruction taking on Johnny Nitro and Mark Henry, and Johnny Nitro and Mark Henry picked up the victory. So maybe with another win here, they're starting to actually make a claim for themselves as a dominant tag team. Definitely a threat, a force to be reckoned with here on the ECW brand. And with no tag team titles, that does make it a little bit of a bummer. We only have the ECW Championship, which kind of sucks. We can't have that little ratings boost by putting the title on the line, because, I mean, if we could, we'd probably be number one in the ratings by now. But also with the ratings partially being broken, and yeah, the next coming episodes, you'll just get to see how broken the ratings are. Yeah, that's. I mean, I know I've been saying that that SummerSlam was going to be the turning point. That SummerSlam was going to be the point where we start to rise back up in the rankings and begin to make a claim for that number one spot. Gonna have to stay tuned for the next couple of episodes, because that belief has kind of been done away with. I mean, I don't know where the future of this GM mode is anymore because of the next couple of episodes. And yeah, because of how I record the things, I usually like to play for an hour of GM mode, so I can usually get about 2 or 3 episodes recorded. And because I don't play GM mode a lot, like, I don't play it a lot, so I try to record whatever I can, which is kind of why I do bulk recording. I'm not going to spoil any matches or of that sort. I'm not going to do anything like that. But I just want to say that things are going to get interesting in the ratings. And yeah, it's just complete bull. But I'm not going to say anything more. You're just going to have to stay tuned for the next couple of episodes. Even in the next episode, really, you'll start to see things. Maybe in this one, probably. I don't think really in this one. I don't remember what happens in this one for as far as ratings go, but definitely in the next episode you're going to see things start to. I don't even want to say anything more about it. I mean, it's kind of tough to really say much about it, and I'm kind of just stalling at this point because I said I wanted to stop talking about this, so I'm going to stop. So, anyway, this tag team matchup here, we get to see some odd pairings again. As we remember, The Undertaker and Kane, obviously Brothers of Destruction, Terry Funk and Mick Foley a tag team, but CM Punk and Shawn Michaels. So we remember Jeff Hardy competed against Shawn Michaels in an Iron Man match last night. Our second filler match of the night. Filler match of the pay-per-view, and Shawn Michaels got the win there. And CM Punk competed in a steel cage fatal 4-way, and he got rolled up by Edge, his rival, which is why in the main event of our show tonight, it's going to be Edge going one-on-one with the ECW champion Randy Orton himself, because with Edge getting a big victory like that on the pay-per-view, I think he's deserving of that #1 contender spot for the ECW championship. So he's getting a matchup here tonight. We also got to keep in mind Batista's potential rematch clause after the events of the Hell in the Cell. I mean, the ending to that Hell in the Cell was definitely a controversial one. In case you missed it, go ahead and check it out real quick. Leave the video because it's going to contain spoilers if you didn't see the pay-per-view. So I'm going to give you about 5 seconds here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so as far as the pay-per-view with the main event, trust me, I was button mashing to kick out of that pin when I dove off the Hell in the Cell. I was actually kind of upset when I got pinned off of that because, I mean, I dove off the Hell in the Cell, landed on my head or whatever, which would probably kill a normal man. But even though it's a video game, just kind of, got put into the red, so it did take a lot of damage, took a lot out of the game, Triple H. But I was sitting there and pretty much like button mashing to kick out because, I mean, I had been sitting there for a couple seconds on the ground. No one really touched me, and it still would not let me kick. Oh my God, what a tombstone there. Shawn Michaels just got tombstone off of the announce table onto the floor. That's got to be it. It's over. I mean, there was no way. There was no way Shawn Michaels was going to kick out of that. That was a bit of a crazy bump there. I mean, he was supposed to get tombstone through the table, which arguably would have broken his fall, but he got tombstone off of the announce table. So that's definitely a painful maneuver there. And as we make the sexy transition there right into the next matchup, this one's for the ECW Championship, as we remember Randy Orton being the Vulture of last night's main event. Or not even last night's, Sunday's main event. Because technically this is Tuesday, not Monday. That's funny, I'm actually doing this commentary on a Tuesday. Ha-ha! Alright, anyway. So, what I was saying with Triple H diving off the Hell in the Cell, doing his swan dive thing there, or whatever he was going for, and on the ground for like 10 or 15 seconds, and I was like getting to the point where I should have been getting close to standing up, and then apparently Orton could just kind of sneak over, get the pin, and that's it. Yeah, I mean, it's understandable that you're going to take a lot of damage falling on your head off the Hell in the Cell, but I mean, thinking that it is a game, and the physics, or not physics, but like, the laws of gravity do not apply as much as in real life, because a fall from there would probably kill you, but I mean, for the game, it was just kind of a bummer that I couldn't kick out of that, because I mean, I was like button mashing, to the max for those 3 seconds, and I still couldn't kick out after having been down for a few seconds, for like almost half a minute or so, and yeah, still getting pinned off that. It was a bit of a lackluster finish, but I mean, for a Hell in the Cell Fatal 4-way, it is kind of difficult to orchestrate all 4 superstars up on top of the Hell in the Cell to get some sort of crazy spot. So that was a bit of a bummer, but we got to move on as any general manager would move on. So anyway, that leads us into this Hell in the Cell Fatal 4-way. Like I said, Edge winning that steel cage matchup at the pay-per-view, getting himself this #1 contender's opportunity. Like I said, we also have to remember about the Animal Batista. He'll have a rematch clause, as he wasn't even pinned for the ECW Championship last night, so he's going to be furious and want that title match. But Edge, with his pay-per-view victory, just kind of putting him in line here for, yeah, because he got the victory. So it was almost like a #1 contenders matchup, because those were four contenders who really haven't been in the ECW Championship picture. That's kind of what I want to try to do in the next couple of episodes, try to bring some new superstars up into the ECW title picture. That's why we got like a Randy Orton and an Edge here, because really, it's been, you know, we've had Kane, Undertaker, I think even Mark Henry's in the title picture. Chris Masters was up there as well, but I mean, Masters was just kind of thrown in that fatal four-way situation. Batista being in there, and I think that pretty much sums up the ECW Championship division as it's been for the last couple of, well, actually for the entirety of this series. As oh yeah, Shawn Michaels was up there too. Shawn Michaels was competing. John Cena as well. Cena's no longer here, so he can't compete in the ECW Championship division. Yeah, I think that was pretty much anybody, or not anybody, but everybody. Trying to bring up some more superstars into that ECW Championship division. Try to bring new life into the division, and we've got two new additions to that division here with Edge and Orton. This should be a very interesting matchup and a feud, as they're now in a feud, so we'll have to see where that could lead up until the next pay-per-view, which is Survivor Series. And no, this one I've going for December to Dismember because of how odd the schedule is set up in this game, with there being 2 weeks in between Survivor Series and December to Dismember, really offering no time to build a feud. I mean, I could always add in a last-minute feud to just kind of add fluff to the pay-per-view, just kind of add some filler matches in there. But yeah, I only play 3 matches on our pay-per-views, so I mean, just kind of the filler matches that don't get played is pretty much what some of those extra feuds could be. But something like this, where the ECW title's on the line, could be in the main event. All depends on where my whole Sabu, Terry Funk, Mick Foley, Sandman project is going to go. Because I am going to trade for Sandman in the next couple of episodes. Probably episode, let's see, this is number 29. I recorded 3 episodes, so episode 32 we're going to be getting Sandman. But the only problem is when I do get him, his popularity's lowered a bit, so I'm going to have to bump him up, so it might even be another episode until you see him. But anyway, feel like spoiling all this stuff is not a good idea, but I'm doing it anyway. So I'm going to get back to the match here. Edge has Orton in the corner, chopping away at the chest of Randy Orton of the Viper, the Legend Killer, the Apex Predator of the WWE, taking on the Rated R Superstar, the Ultimate Opportunist. He is Edge. Edge, of course, former WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Randy Orton, a former WWE and World Heavyweight Champion. In fact, Randy Orton's a former WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Current one in the WWE today, I guess. But yeah, that's real-life facts. Why am I bringing this stuff into the video? But anyway, Edge, it looks like, has a finisher here. Orton went for the kick. Edge blocks it. As this could be a big opportunity here for Edge to win his first ever ECW Championship here in this Universe mode. Randy Orton still feeling the effects of his Hell in the Cell matchup. Edge, of course, still feeling the effects of the Steel Cage match at the pay-per-view. So, I don't know, which superstar really would have the... what would you call it? Which superstar would be fresher in this match? Which superstar would have the least amount of fatigue? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they're both about the same in that regard. But Edge with a low blow to Randy Orton, and referee not calling it a disqualification there because it is no disqualification, I guess. I mean, it's ECW. All matches are no DQ. That's just because it's ECW. Oh, and a spear. What a spear there by Edge. And now Edge goes into the cover on Randy Orton. 1, 2. No, Edge actually lifting his shoulder there. So Edge apparently wants to inflict a little more damage on Randy Orton. Could that cost him here? Is now Edge able to block whatever Orton was going for there. Has him now in that exposed steel turnbuckle. And now Edge driving the knee right into the gut of Randy Orton there. Into the corner. But now Orton trying to stay alive, fighting out of it. And a nice spinning neck breaker there from Randy Orton. A very crisp offense there from Randy Orton. And now both these superstars just sort of staring each other down, trying to figure out where they can gain the advantage at this point in the matchup. And I'd say now, the longer this matchup goes, it looks like it is in favor of Edge, as Orton has sustained a large amount of punishment here to that back and to the head, as Edge caught him off guard with that spear earlier. But that wasn't even really the finisher spear. That was just the little grapple spear. So it wasn't quite as impactful as the real deal spear cheer. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Just felt the need to make that rhyme. But now, Randy Orton taking down Edge from behind, going after the leg now. And this is where Orton, his vicious offense begins to take effect, as now he's targeting that leg of Edge, and that's a very smart strategy. You want to take away the spear of Edge, as Edge definitely uses those legs to get his running start, build up his momentum to increase the impact of the spear. But now, as you can see, Orton holding those ribs as he has sustained sufficient damage there, some heavy damage to the ribs. Orton now blocks whatever Edge is going for, and now there's Randy Orton taking Edge down with the RKO, and Orton could be 3 seconds away from retaining the championship here. Edge's opportunity could go to waste here. Into the cover. 1, 2, no! Edge kicks out of the RKO there. So now I guess both superstars are even here, kicking out of each other's quote-unquote finishers, as Edge now, I mean, the momentum has really swung in Randy Orton's favor. I mean, Edge allowing Orton to get up or kick out after that spear, and that Randy Orton is definitely taking advantage of that opportunity, taking a page out of Edge's book. And now Edge measuring Randy Orton here. Oh, and Snake Eyes right onto the exposed steel turnbuckle, busting Randy Orton open. And now an execution there by Edge, planting Randy Orton face first into the mat right on that busted cut. And now Edge, that may have been the moment that Edge needed to get the win here. Into the cover, hooking the leg, 2 count. It is over. We have a new ECW champion, and Edge, the ultimate opportunist, certainly took advantage of his opportunities here tonight and is your new ECW champion. So, huge turn of events here tonight on ECW. Orton winning the championship 2 nights ago at the pay-per-view. He won the ECW championship, and now it has changed hands once again. This time, the Rated R Superstar wins his first ever ECW championship in this universe mode. So that is now, we have a Batista rematch clause potentially in the making, and now we've got a Randy Orton rematch clause. So what is that going to do for Batista's rematch? As you can see here, 4.5, 4, 3.5, 4, and 4 stars for our show to give it an overall rating of 4 stars. So that is a pretty good follow-up to the pay-per-view, if I do say so myself. But as for the broken ratings in this game, we'll have to see what they think. But we are 8 weeks away from Survivor Series, which means that we are 10 weeks away from the December to Dismember pay-per-view. And right here, since I want to trade either of these superstars away, bring in some new life into this ECW division, which means no, I'm not going to trade them for Sandman, as in the end I decided to trade somebody else for Sandman. But that gives you guys an option. That gives you, the fans, an option of who you want to see me trade for. So whoever loses this feud, their payoff match at whether it's on ECW or actually on Survivor Series, we'll have to see. But who do you want me to trade for in 8 weeks when this feud is up? Because, I mean, even though I have recorded 3 episodes ahead from this one, there's still plenty of time to get the news out, get your suggestions in for who you think I should trade for. And, oh geez, here's the No Mercy pay-per-view for Smackdown. Smackdown got a 4-star show rating. I don't know if I agree with that. We got Kenny Dykstra beating The Rock. Okay. You kept it heated up. Excellent. You've managed to get 2 of your superstars into a hot rivalry. That is one. Okay, I sound like JR. But you get a thumbs up from the fans 13 weeks in a row. That's good business, and will thusly reward this good business with one of my gold stars of accomplishment, capturing enough of my objectives, and you might end up my general manager of the year. So that is definitely a good sign with my Jim Ross, Vince McMahon voice combination thing. And for some reason, that rivalry is not over yet, so I'm probably just going to end that myself. But we've got the No Mercy pay-per-view here for SmackDown. And yeah, this is probably going to swing the ratings back in SmackDown's favor. So we'll just go ahead and give Ray an opportunity to sign some autographs. Here we go, fan chain SmackDown plus 350,000. That is not bad. That's actually not too shabby for a pay-per-view. You know, it could be something huge like 700,000, but they got a 4-star overall rating on the pay-per-view. I can see why. Okay, if it weren't for that Elimination Chamber to save the pay-per-view, they probably, I mean, No Mercy probably would have been a big letdown if it weren't for that Elimination Chamber main event. But let's go ahead and sign some more autographs. Triple H, why not you? You got your victory over Rey Mysterio, and the parking lot brawl will give you some time to sign some autographs with your fans. And, yeah, we went up a little bit. We gained, no, we didn't. Did we actually go down? I can't tell. That whole pay-per-view week kind of threw it off. We, of course, dropped back down to reality. And somehow, Monday Night Raw has begun to climb back up. Oh, actually, no, they're about the same before the pay-per-view. But Raw's going back down. We're going up. SmackDown's going up. So it looks like SmackDown is our only competition, right? Well, you would think so. That's what I thought. Mark Henry's number 1 in the Power 25. That's the thing. But, yeah, I would have thought that SmackDown was our only competition. How wrong was I? In the next couple of episodes, you'll get to find out what happens. So stay tuned for the next episode of SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 General Manager Mode. If you enjoyed, please be sure, as always, to leave a like, leave some comments, some suggestions, who I should trade for, all that kind of stuff. So I want to thank you all for watching. Keep on YouTubing.